Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the channel for another video today. So, head into the garage, gonna do a little work on the Raptor 700 here today. Got up, was looking it over, getting it ready for dune season, and found some wear items that needed addressing, mainly due to the roller for the chain. So I'll show you what we got here, and we're gonna get it installed. So, got a new chain guide roller from UPP Racing. Same company I used for the case saver. They make all poly products for ATVs and stuff like that. Very good quality products, I may add, too. The case saver was a pretty nice piece. So this is what you get. You get a new, you get a bolt and two washers and a lock nut, nylon lock nut. Nice little sticker. Who doesn't like stickers? And then, so these aftermarket ones actually have a bearing in them. The difference between these and the OEM ones is most of you guys with Raptors know the chain noise from the front sprocket area is typically, you can hear it. It's not very quiet, no matter how well you keep your chain lubed, and it's usually from these, because the OEM one, you'll see when we get it off, they don't give you, there's no true bearing inside. It's just a metal sleeve inside of the rubber, and it just glides on that. This actually has a ball bearing there, so it makes it much more silent and spin freely and last a lot longer. So we'll get the old one out and get the new one installed. All right guys, so this is what we're talking about. This is what we're replacing, is that roller right there. You can see the factory one. It's the factory one. It rolls. It's hard to roll, actually. It doesn't move as freely as the aftermarket one. And like I said, that's just because there's no true bearing in there. The rubber just gets, corroded and gross. And it's pretty worn from the chain, so it needs to be replaced anyway. And then the new one's going to roll better because it's got an actual bearing in there. So that should quiet it down quite a bit. I don't know about most of yous, but from my experience, the Raptor 700 is all very noisy from the chain area in the front, and it's typically from that. And then also the slider, the stock slider, it could be a little noisy as well when the chain's dragging on it. But I have the UPP case saver in there. You can see the reason I like that one, you see how thick it is? It covers the whole case. And you can also retrofit the factory cover to fit right over it by just trimming the tabs. I have a video on that out from when I first got the machine. It was one of the first mods I did. So it's a nice unit, and I just went with them for the roller guide as well. So we'll get that sucker installed. I'll try to get you guys at an angle where you can kind of see what's going on, but as you can see, it's behind the frame, so we're going to get this from the backside. We're going to come around from the backside with a ratchet and a socket and get it from there. All right, guys, got you set up here. It's going to be hard to see, but right there is the roller. You're going to come in from underneath here with a ratchet, small ratchet. You're going to have to use a little bit of force to get it off, because it's in a very tight spot, as you can see. It's not easy to get to that spot, so you kind of got to stick your hand underneath and wrap it around. But we'll get that sucker off and show you what it looks like compared to the new one. You really got very little room to move here with the ratchet, so you're going to be moving it up and down like a quarter inch at a time almost. So hopefully we can get the bolt loose enough where we can get it out the rest by hand. Alrighty, new one versus the old one. So you see the old one here? So, it's got the chain wear on it, normal chain wear. And then I showed you the new one, how it's got a full roller bearing with an inner and outer chase on the bearing. And now this is what I was talking about with the OEM one. It's just a rubber isolator, no bearing in there. It's just a metal sleeve. If that sits in there, you can see at some point it stopped and it was just rubbing on here. Dirt gets in there and it's just grinding. There's a lot of free play in there with that. There's no tight sealed bearing. So that's, you're going to get an inconsistent performance and noise, you know, with this setup. Hence the reason why it's probably so noisy. So the new one, you got the actual roll bearing, and then the bolt is a little bit more, it's got a little bit more of a neck on it there, so that the bearing isn't rolling on the threads. Threads end right at the top, and then the washer sits there. Washer on the bottom. So we're going to get this new one installed. To show you guys where I got this out of, I know it was difficult to see, but where you're going to want to come in, and I used a small 1/4 inch ratchet. That's the best way to get in there. You don't want a big 3/8 because you're not going to, there's no room for the head in there to move and get it in there straight. So you can use an open end wrench if you have a ratcheting wrench, but it's basically right back there. That's where it's going. The new one. Pick the chain up, install it, get it bolted in, and that's it. We'll show you guys the finished product here in a second. All right, guys, now you see it's installed. And you see as it moves with the chain there as you roll the machine. This is a wear item, so you want to replace this regardless of whether or not you just want to put the better one in, like I did. Mine was a little worn out to begin with, which what triggered me to order the new one. And any aftermarket, you know, upgrade one you're going to order is going to have the better roller bearing in there. Like you see, that is $18 part, so not an expensive item. No reason to skimp out on that. That does affect your chain slack. You know, so it's something you want to keep on top of. You know, every season you check your sprockets, see how they're wearing, and you look at that stuff. If that's worn out, you replace it. You know, the other thing you want to keep an eye on is your chain slide. Mine's still in pretty good shape. It's the OEM one. You know, when that one wears out, we'll replace that one with an aftermarket one as well. It's a little bit more intensive process. Sometimes you got to get the chain off because you got to kind of wedge it in there, but that's a different story for a different day. But I hope you guys like this one. Hope it was a little bit informative. Again, I'll show you from the bottom here where we put it in and how I did it. I ended up putting it in. I ended up using a long extension and just coming across from the other side, and I'll show you that. So you're going to come from underneath here. And you'll see it up there. See the bolt head? So what I did was tightening it. It was kind of a pain in the neck when the bolt was sticking out there, getting it started. So I came in from the other side here with the long extension on it. And then just ratcheted it right from here. Nicey nice. So as you can see, it's nice and tight. You don't want to over torque this either. It's a small bolt, small bearing. So what I did was I put a little bit of blue Loctite on the threads of the bolt. This way you don't have to worry about it backing out. You know, obviously it's a moving part. You don't want to have it backing out while you're out riding. And you know, after your first couple rides, you know, you probably want to just take a peek in there, make sure it's good. And, you know, you shouldn't be able to slide it back and forth on the bolt. So that'll be a clear sign that your bolt's backing out if you do have an issue. But if you put a little Loctite on there, put it in snug, it should be good to go. That's it for this one, guys. Wraps it up. We'll see you guys on the next video. And as you can see, we still got an empty spot here in the garage. So that is for the new side-by-side. That's coming soon, I hope. Keeps getting delayed, unfortunately. I was hoping to have it already, but as soon as I do, you guys will know. Maybe if I find out it's going to take much longer, we'll kind of let you guys know in on the big secret as to what the machine actually is going to be. So thanks for tuning into this one, guys. And dune season's coming up. Get you guys machines ready, and gals, get your machines ready to rock and roll and rip the dunes, and we'll see you out there.